Hey Crochet Cousins, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I make this cute, simple two-piece short set. And just know that I love y'all because I'm filming this when my nails look crazy. To get started, grab some medium weight 4 yarn and your favorite crochet hook. Hook size doesn't matter as long as you have the correct measurements. And like I said, y'all, please don't look at my nails. There's always that one nail that is just being stubborn and it can't come off. And why is it always the thumb? Anyways, to get started, you're going to start out with a slip knot and then you're going to chain as many chains as it takes to reach the measurements of your waist. Keep in mind, you want your chain at the end to be reaching the waist measurements once the chain is actually stretched. So when you're aligning it up to your measuring tape, you want to stretch out your chain and want that to reach the total number of inches that you measured out for your waist. Hopefully that made sense. So just keep on chaining and at the end I will show you what to do next. Okay, so once you reach the end, you are going to slip stitch into that first chain to close the chain together to create a ring. So for me, I did a total of 80 chains. I usually do around 75 to 80 because I feel like that gives me a good fit for me. And like I said, everyone's tension is different. It could be more chains, less chains. So just make sure you're measuring out your waist and you're chaining to what's comfortable to you or your client's measurements, okay? Now, once you have your measurements, it's time to start on round 1. So with that, you are going to chain up 1, and then in that same space, you are going to insert 1 double crochet. And then you're going to repeat inserting 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around your chain until you reach back at the beginning. Now, say you're somebody who doesn't really like using double crochets and you prefer using half double crochets, by all means you can use a half double crochet for this project. It is able to work up. The only thing with that is you'll probably just need to add more rows to your project because everybody knows double crochet does work up a lot quicker, and half double crochet isn't too far behind, but you might just need a little bit more rows. So just keep working your stitch all the way around until you reach the end of your chain. So here I'm at the end of my round 1, and from this point on I'm just going to chain up 1. I'm going to chain up 1, and then in that same stitch where I chained 1, I'm going to insert my first double crochet and then continue on inserting 1 double crochet all the way around my chain. And I'm going to do this for a total of 10 rounds. Now, that 10 rounds is good for me because when I try my shorts on, at the end of 10 rounds, I want it to stop like right in the crotch area where I want it to split off. Now, if you're going to be making these shorts, I always suggest that the first pair, while you're watching my videos or learning the pattern from somewhere else, that first pair that you make should always be for yourself, just so you can have some practice and try it on and see what's comfortable for you. The first pair that you make should not be for anybody else if you're not comfortable with trying the pair on. Now, with that being said, 10 rounds could probably be too short for you or too long for you, depending on your body type. So you're just going to do as many rounds as it takes to reach the crotch area. So here I am at the end of my 10 rounds, and I've completed all of them, and it looks really nice, really neat, and now it's time to start working on the crotch. So what I like to do is I'm going to fold my work so that that seam edge is on the side. It's not in the middle. I know in my previous video I had my seam in the middle, but for this pair I'm going to put it on the side, and then we're going to work from there. So when you're ready, you are going to chain up 1 and then cut and fasten off your working yarn because we're no longer going to be working on that side seam. We're going to start working in the middle so that way there is no seam showing in the front or the back of your shorts. So my style of crocheting is super amateur, so to find the middle of the project, you're just going to fold the project in half like I'm doing so here, and then I'm just going to find the middle point. If you want to, you can count. You can count your stitches if you want it to be perfect, but me, I'm not one of those crochet girls that really cares too much about the proper stitch count. I just kind of eyeball everything like I'm doing here now. But if you did want to count your stitches, like I did in the beginning, I had 80 stitches, so I would have counted 80 and then divide that by 2, which would be 40, and then I would divide that 40 into 2 to bring it to the middle point. So I would count over 20 stitches and then I would be right there at the middle. So once you found the middle part, you are going to insert your hook and slip stitch to connect your yarn again. And for this part, it can vary. I'm going to chain up 12, and you can chain anywhere from 10 to 15 chains for this part. So once you have your chain, just go ahead and slip stitch to the back side in the same middle point. That maybe once you try it on, you'll notice that the front part of the shorts is fitting comfortably, but the back side isn't quite covering your butt area. So for that is where you would either go in and add more chains to give you a little bit more room. So once you have your desired amount of chains, you will notice that you have now created 2 leg holes for your shorts. I know I said my style of crocheting is very amateur, and which is, but I do pay attention to the direction of how I crochet because I don't like when the direction changes and then it's very noticeable in your project. So now I am going to start going down the chain and then going around the first leg hole. So I'm going to go down and then go to my left and keep going around because that was the direction that I was doing my double crochets in. So from right here, we have our first chain. Let me zoom in a little bit and then you can see. So now we're going to be working in the chain. So I'm going to chain up 1, and then in that first chain I'm going to insert 1 double crochet right here. All right, and then from here I'm just going to insert 1 double crochet all the way down the chain in each stitch, another double crochet, 1 double crochet. And I'm just going to continue on all the way down until I reach my shorts again. Okay, I have completed inserting my double crochets down the chain, and then from here I'm just going to continue on going around the leg hole, inserting 1 double crochet in each stitch. Alright, so here we are at the end, and once you've inserted your last double crochet, you are going to slip stitch to that chain 1 from the beginning to close your round. And then I'm going to chain up 1, and then in that same space I'm going to insert 1 double crochet, and I'm just going to go around doing another row of double crochets, and I'm going to do this for a total of 3 rounds. Now if you are making the shorts, the viral crochet shorts with the strap, I would suggest only doing 2 rounds, but that's just my suggestion. But this is a tutorial for basic crochet shorts, so I'm going to do 3 rounds because the viral shorts were kind of more of like a cheeky type shorts where they're kind of supposed to be booty shorts. But yeah, so just keep going around for as many rows as you feel is necessary for your project. But like I said, I would suggest using 2 rows for the viral shorts or 3 rows for regular crochet shorts. So I have completed my 3 rows, and then from here you're just going to repeat the exact same thing that we did on this side on the opposite side to complete the other leg hole. Reattach your working yarn to the other side of that chain for the crotch area like so. So you're going to insert it there with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then on the opposite side you're just going to insert your double crochets in each stitch. So I inserted my first one there, and then it doesn't really look like a stitch, but you can kind of see where I'm inserting my hook, and it's just the bottom of a double crochet. So you're going to insert 1 double crochet in each of those spaces down the chain, and then repeat like we did before, just going around the leg hole for as many rows as you did on the first side. Alright y'all, so this is what your shorts should be looking like once you've completed both leg holes, and at this point you can be done with your shorts if you like how they look. This is just a simple crochet basic shorts that you can do, but if you are going to be making the viral crochet shorts, at this point you would attach your second color that you want to use for your trimming. And I would just do one single crochet around the top of your shorts and around each leg hole. Very simple, very easy. Just grab your next color and then just reattach your yarn and then go around. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to show you guys that. If you want, you can refer back to my previous video where I kind of walk you guys through the process of how to make those shorts. But yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. If you do want to learn how I make the matching bralette, just refer to my next video. Bye!